A sound anti-doping policy depends on conducting doping controls out of competition as well. For example, at athletes' homes or at training locations, but it must be possible to find athletes there. That is why some athletes have to provide whereabouts information. The organizations that can impose a whereabouts requirement on you are Doping Authority Netherlands and your international federation. That means you will be included in a testing pool. Doping Authority Netherlands has two testing pools: the Registered Testing Pool, RTP, and the National Testing Pool, NTP. In addition, your international federation may have a testing pool. In this video, we focus solely on the testing pools of Doping Authority Netherlands. Are you going to be included in a testing pool? You will be kept informed. You provide your whereabouts data in ADAMS, or the Athlete Central app. When you are included in a testing pool, you will receive the login information required. The data athletes are required to submit varies depending on the testing pool. Athletes in the NTP have to provide at least personal details, such as an email address, phone number, and their current mail address, as well as information about regular activities, such as training sessions and competitions, and an overnight address for every day. Athletes in the RTP must also provide a 60-minute time slot. This is a continuous period of 60 minutes between 5 a.m. and 11 p.m., during which you can be found, and where you are available for a doping control at a specific location. You must complete this information in full before the start of each quarter. If your schedule changes during the quarter so that your completed whereabouts information is no longer correct, that's no problem. You can change your information up to 1 minute before the start of an activity. In this way, you keep your whereabouts up to date at all times. A whereabouts requirement means you have to enter your information correctly and on time. You are responsible for this yourself. If you do not comply with the whereabouts requirement, that may result in whereabouts failures. There are two types of whereabouts failure. A filing failure means that you have not entered your whereabouts information completely, correctly, or in time. A missed test means that the doping control officer is unable to find you at your specified location during your 60-minute time slot. You will be notified in writing if you have committed a whereabouts failure. If you disagree, you can, of course, inform Doping Authority Netherlands accordingly. The whereabouts failure may be retracted. Only athletes in the RTP can commit anti-doping rule violations as a result of whereabouts failures. 3 established whereabouts failures within 12 months constitute an anti-doping rule violation. That can result in a suspension of 2 years. Athletes in the NTP can commit filing failures only. If an athlete in the NTP is found to have 3 filing failures within 6 months, that athlete may be included in the RTP for a period of 1 year. Even if you provide whereabouts, you may never refuse a doping control. Not even if you haven't supplied whereabouts information for that time or location. A refusal never constitutes a whereabouts failure. It constitutes a direct anti-doping rule violation. If you have been included in a testing pool, there are 2 other requirements. First, you need to complete the Gold e-learning module of Doping Authority Netherlands. And secondly, if you are in the RTP and have to start taking medication that contains a prohibited substance, you must arrange for a therapeutic use exemption before taking the medicine. The obvious exception is, of course, a medical emergency. If you are in the NTP, we advise you to apply for an exemption as well before taking medication. Do you provide whereabouts information? Then your requirement ends only when you receive the relevant confirmation. Have you decided to stop competing? If so, notify Doping Authority Netherlands. Even then, your whereabouts requirement will not end until you receive the relevant confirmation. Do you want to know more about whereabouts? go to our website or download the Doping Wire app.